Hello and welcome, everyone. This is IDRL SAH Season 3, Episode 2, HHR versus KKR out here. Sorry for the delay. We had scheduled it for 9:30. There were some issues going on the technical side, especially because we have introduced some new graphics and a lot of testing is still required. But you can see we have a new set of screens and a complete redesign of our interface. And this is sort of the screen where we introduce you to the pilots from team HHR are Shady, who is playing the captain out here. Bangos is playing the wingman, and Astronaut is playing the airman. On the next screen, we will be introducing to you the pilots from Team KKR. These are the captain Dabata. Then we have Oni FPV, who is going to play the wingman, and finally there is IMDC instead of Hornet. Hornet will be subbing in as and when required, but there is a pilot called as IMDC will be participating out here. So let's get straight into the action. And you can also see on the right hand side, we have a live chat that you can plug in your comments in, and that will show up out here. So do let us know about the same. And Theatrix also, we had some audio issues with her, so she'll be joining in the next race on Saturday. So let's get going, pilots, without any further ado out here. As much as the game, even though you can see a little bit of a lag out here, let's try to minimize that lag. Hopefully, it should not last that much as we progress throughout the game. So let's get going, pilots. Now, we will be giving you sort of a demo race out here to run. And let's start the demo race. Let's show the audience around what's going on right now with the track. And let's follow one of the pilots out here, starting with Oni FPV. And let's get straight into the action with one of the demo races before we commence the start of this episode number 2. You can see quite a beautiful track out here. We like to introduce new styles of tracks every single time. Here is an amazing track that you will see. There are plenty of new elements. This is the spline. Then you have the powering up triangle out here, a regenerator of energy, and recovering the quad. Then you see a lot of mid-size kind of circular gates, also standard gates, and kind of having a futuristic metallic design out there. Also, there is a big roller coaster kind of an inverted turn that pilots have to go through. So this is a very fast-paced track, even though it's on a sort of a compressed space, but it's still a very, very fast-paced track. And that's what's going to make the game for today very, very interesting. So we have some comments, I believe, already coming in. You can see in on the live chat. Do plug in. We are right now only streaming to YouTube. As soon as we have figured out all the issues, the next race on Saturday will be streaming to all our platforms that we had promised, Facebook as well as Twitch. And you can start following us on twitch.tv/IDRL. Also, a big round of applause to our sponsors, One Martian Way, D1 Racing from Singapore, and Edgy LRC, who have supported us continuously. Also, Sportrex is our international media partner out here. And as we see tonight's game, HHR versus KKR. Also, there is another little bit of graphic out there on the top. Whenever we see a new follower or somebody subscribes to our channel, there will be a little bit of animation that will be flowing into the screen just to make things interesting. But for now, on the racing side, at the table that you see on the bottom, we have categorized the pilots from team HHR and KKR, and they are in the order of their ranking on the leaderboard. Shady is going against Oni FPV. Then Bangos is going against Dabata, and Astronaut is going against IMDC. With the subs Watsan as well as Hornet correspondingly for HHR and KKR. So pilots, without any further ado, I think it's important that we get right into the action out here and start the race for our audience, which is awaiting since a very long time. So let's get going, pilots, now. Be ready on the podium. We'll be starting the first round in less than 5. Let's watch through the eyes of Dabata at the moment. Dabata is the captain of team KKR, and he will be really racing it up as a captain, taking the lead wherever is possible. Look at that, beautiful streams of red and green. HHR is in red color and KKR is in green color. Again, fast-paced action that I had said. This is the dive gate coming into the incline over the mountain. Look at that, the big peak that they have to climb, and then they have to take that incline and that inverted roller coaster that becomes a very, very difficult move. It's almost like a freestyle track that we can see out here. Let's switch to some of the other feeds right now. Bangos also doing plenty out there, and he will also be competing head to head with some of the other pilots. But right now in the lead is Shady. So Shady's run is proving pretty amazing for his team out here. As the captain, he has always led from the front, and he will be looking to get that clean sweep that he has always familiarized himself with. So he's probably on the last lap right now. Meanwhile, just let's look at that. Who is in the second place? IMDC has practiced this track really well. IMDC is sort of a new entrant out here from the Kalinga Krakens, and plenty of new pilots coming in from Team Odisha community led by Dabata and Oni FPV and Hornet and all the other pilots really doing a great amount of work there in Odisha. So congratulations to them. For now, IMDC is in second place. We will quickly again switch our views to Shady out here. Shady has completed the track. Bangos in third place. Oni FPV is slightly warming up, I would say, on the first lap out here, because he is usually a pilot that goes head on with the top competitor, Shady from Team HHR. So he'll be disappointed with his performance, but nevertheless, the last pilot who is coming in right now is Dabata, and he will also be looking to capitalize on the further rounds. So that becomes inconsequential for the total. For Dabata, for now, let's calculate the points. Shady has obviously won against Oni, so let's mark it up as 1 point for Shady versus Oni as 0. IMDC has got that 1 pointer against Astronaut. So that's very good news for Team KKR as they level the points out here. Then Bangos. Bangos has also won against Dabata. Dabata taking things a little bit easily out here, and that's the 3 points how they were distributed right now, so to speak, as we are going now into round number 2. A slight edge for Team HHR, and KKR has to now try and get back into round number 2. So pilots, let's get going now at the count of less than 5. Let's this time see how Bangos picks up the podium out here. Again, a fine pilot who plays for HHR. Very interesting to see his moves as well. And look at that, quickly covering, I think it's Shady, his captain, going around. Those red again are in HHR, while KKR is in green. Let's see now from sort of the third person view. Dabata is covering up quick ground out here, and he is diving into that dive gate around that mountain, coming into the spline roller coaster, and then over the big roller coaster out there. Dabata versus Shady it is. The captain versus captain is going on head on out here, and looks like Dabata has really made up his mind to catch up to Shady at the moment. Let's look at his run. Look at that. He is hot on the tail of Shady at the moment. What a fine run by Captain Dabata right now, and he is just about 4 to 5 gates away from Captain Shady. And Shady, now let's take a look at Shady, where he is right now. Shady in third person view on that final spline on the second lap. He's quickly powering up, and recharge gate has been completed by Shady. That gives his quad full strength. And now let's see some of the other pilots out here. Bungos coming in around that pole, around into the the spline out there, coming into that low pass tunnel, and into some of the circular gates, coming into the dive gate now. Metallic gates spline up. Wow, fast-paced action coming up out here, and Bungos and Shady has completed. Bungos will be following up quickly soon, unless Dabata does something to catch up to Bungos. He is about 9 gates away. Looks like Bungos has taken a far lead, and that will mean that Dabata will finish in third place for now. And IMDC will also be coming in fourth place, while Astronaut from team HHR will be coming in fifth. And I think there was the sixth pilot who wasn't able to take off. So that's the capitalization story right now. Shady capitalizes once again. 1 point goes to him right off the bat. Bungos also takes over that 1 point. And then we have Oni wasn't able to take off, unfortunately, for his captain. And Dabata is inquiring Oni. Let's see if we can unlock the server right now, because Oni is kind of, let's see where he is on the players session out here. And if we can just get a quick session view, I'm not sure we're able to get that going at the moment for some reason. But okay, looks like the race has to be stopped, I guess, for it to show up. So we'll just take those points, 1-1, and then IMDC goes against Astronaut. So IMDC captures that crucial point for KKR. So let's stop this race, and keep in mind it's not a race that started. Let's look at our players in session. Oni is still flying. Okay, Oni, are you back? Looks like he is back. He's flying. Everybody looks like in good shape. So we can lock the server right now. And something happened to Oni where he was not able to take off. So hard luck there for round number 2 for Oni. For now, let's get going, pilots, without any further ado, straight into round number 3. And your race for round number 3 starts in less than 5. IMDC this time, he's a fine pilot to watch, so it would be interesting to cover him up from the first person view out here. Just to the left of the recharge gate is that start gate. Look at that. A beautifully designed track, straight away a curvature and quick turns into those rings, metallic rings, and then that underpass tunnel that the pilots have to go through. Some of the circular gates that IMDC is covering, he is doing pretty well out there as a pilot coming into that dive gate, again into that incline. Look at that. The fast-paced nature of this track is really leaving everybody in absolute amazement. So Shady right now leading the pack. He's at level 2 right now, lap number 2, gate number 16. Look at that. Behind him is Oni, and Oni is coming back in full form. Looks like he took a little bit of a break for purpose so that he can sweat it out against the Shady. Shady versus Oni has been an epic race always, and this time also we'll be seeing what Oni can do against a Shady. But looks like, look at that, both of them now in the same lap number 3. And if we take a look at Oni, you can see Shady right in front of him. Exciting stuff coming up between Oni and Shady head to head. These pilots, wow, look at that. They are really mimicking each other, hardly a second or two away, less than a second, I should say, in terms of their run. Very, very high speeds. Again, this is Oni FPV, a roller coaster run out there, inverted roller coaster dive coming in back into the start gate. Wonderfully done once again, Oni, but he's left in the dust by Shady just a little bit. Look at that, 4 seconds of difference between them. And meanwhile, Astronaut, let's see where he is. And if we can also cover Dabata. Dabata will be looking to edge himself into the next round because right now he is not really doing well in this round number 3. IMDC becomes inconsequential. We'll wait for his completion. As you can see, he's coming back into the start gate. So there you go. Shady picks up again a brilliant run, a clean run so far by Shady. He was against Oni, but Oni just missed out there. Bangos also picks up his point, and also I believe Astronaut has picked up his point. So all 3 points go towards Team HHR. So as the score stands right now, it's sort of an edge for HHR. They are at point 7 versus KKR points 2. The only pilot who has taken the 2 points for Team KKR is IMDC. So IMDC is a really sort of the ranger pilot for KKR team, and KKR needs to really get their heads together and compete as a team. They will be doing that as we start round number 4. Pilots get on the podium. We'll be racing real fast and real hard right now. All the best to you as we start on the podium in less than 5. This time IMDC in the view of a first person that we are getting in. As we go through the countdown, you can see quickly out there how IMDC is making his run happen. And very well done, IMDC out there. Very, very solid pilot. He is a new entrant, as I said, but very clean lines, and competing at such a stage under such an immense pressure for his team and getting those crucial points is quite a feat. So IMDC is doing really well. Meanwhile, again, Shady quickly recharging through the recharge gate, coming into the second lap now, and IMDC. So let's see the run between IMDC and Shady out here. It looks like both of them are doing equally well. IMDC is about 3 gates away. So he's really picking up the run. Look at that. Oni and IMDC are in the same pace at the moment, and it's difficult to see. Both are crisscrossing each other for the second spot right now. So between Oni and IMDC, both of them are trying to chase a Shady right now, who is far ahead into lap number 3. So you can see Shady out there really rotating himself around the track and around that gate, coming into the dive gate, around into the incline once again, into that big roller coaster. Look at that. It's really beautiful to see through the eyes of Shady as he does that roller coaster so very cleanly out there. And this time he completes his last lap, while Oni also coming in about 5 seconds of difference away. So Oni getting his gear back in, but he is a little bit away from Shady at the moment, who tries to punch in that extra second or two to keep the distance away from his nearby pilots. And Bangos has also completed. Dabata again finds himself in the 5th spot, which is not really a good thing for him. And Astronaut becomes inconsequential as the 6th pilot to complete the race. So we will be calculating the points. Shady wins against Oni, but IMDC picks up that point for the team KKR. So that's really good from team KKR with IMDC, and Bangos will be picking up his point as well against Dabata. And then we have that's so far the scoring. So let's see. Right. So we give DC his 1 point out there, and DC is on a good run. So DC has beaten Astronaut. So yep, so that's the tally so far, and it's 8 points against 4 points, and HHR against KKR in the run right now. So 4 points of difference between the two teams. It's not very large, and you know, as the round number 10 is a very big one. It's total 8 points, and anything can happen. The match can drift here and there. So 5 points for the top runner, and the second place gets 3 points. But for now, we'll go into the run for round number 5, which is the round before the intermission, and then we will show you sort of a new screen also for the intermission with the new graphics that we are planting in slowly on the live stream to make this a professional broadcast for all of you. So let's go, pilots, at the count of less than 5 on your podium, and we'll be starting right now through the eyes of Bangos out here. Bangos, a very fast pilot, is a long time a favorite of his captain as well. They practice together on virtual tracks, Shady and Bangos, often competing against each other. But look at that, who is on the milky run out here, Dabata. Dabata is looking in his full strength on this round. So he, as the captain, is taking the lead, and he's hardly a gate away. Now, the only thing that Dabata has to do is to really keep that gate distance really close to Shady and not lose any kind of concentration. And Shady is trying to get away from Dabata, let's see if he's trying to maintain any kind of pressure. He is getting closer to the tail of Shady. Look at that, Shady just in front of him as we tune into the eyes of Dabata at the moment. IMDC should be also coming in, and Oni, look at that, Shady is the only person from HHR in spot number 1, but 2, 3, 4 is all covered by the Krakens, Dabata, IMDC and Oni. All these 3 pilots from Krakens are so very fantastic, and we keep discovering all these new pilots from the virtue of IDRL SAH championships, and this time we have discovered IMDC, and last time we had discovered Gremlin for the first race. So it's fantastic what's happening. New pilots coming in to the series, and this also gives us a confidence that they will be performing equally well in the real world championships. And just as a note, we have already begun to really schedule some IRL races, in real life races. The notification and updates for you will be coming soon. Do download the IDRL app from the Play Store and App Store to get the updates and sign up for the community, and you will be in for the events for the season number 5 in the real world. For now, let's see where Dabata is. Dabata is now slowly getting towards the last one, and Astronaut also completing his sort of mid-last way of the track, but still far away. So for now, we'll be computing that run from Shady. He is about a second away from his finest run. If I remember, he was at 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we'll pick up still 1 point for Shady. He has been at the number 1 spot consistently. Awning is trying to get a hold of Shady somehow, but he's about 5 to 10 seconds away. This time he was a lot further than he would have liked to. Bangos right now picks up again. Bangos and Shady are on a clean run out here with their corresponding pilots from the other team. And then we have IMDC. Let's see how he's done against Astronaut. Yes, he has done pretty well. So IMDC picks up that last third pointer. So that is what we have so far for the intermission. So audiences, will be taking a quick 2-minute break. You can really refresh and warm up and come back. Be comfortable on your beds and sofas wherever you're watching this exciting match. The last 5 rounds that have been coming up are going to be heck of a ride out here, because the points right now are really close. They are still within 5 points of distance. So let's quickly recap with the intermission screen out here. It will give you a quick virtue of what intermission screen looks like right now. Look at that, some new graphics coming in from our professionals out here, and we can walk through the board once again. Meanwhile, you can see the live chat on some of the other part of the right screen as well. So let's see what's going on out there with rounds 1 to 5. Shady and Bungos had a clean run. Then DC also had a clean run. So that was basically the story. All 5 points for Shady, Bungos, and DC. And let's now get going back into that live screen, so that we can again tune into our pilots out here who are coming back after a quick break. So after a quick 2-minute break, about 15 seconds remaining on the clock. This is the last state of affairs that was done at round number 5. Shady, Oni, Bungos, IMDC, Dabata, and Astronaut. That was the order of the pilots. And now let's see what happens in the next 5 rounds. Very, very close competitions will happen. Team strategizing also must have happened. But without any further ado, let's get going with the round number 6. Pilots on your podium in less than 5. Shady this time will cover the pilot who has been really dominating this track. He is good virtually on most of the tracks, and especially he has looked good on this one. This futuristic looking metallic track. Look at the gates, finely highlighting their beauty out there. It is sort of a glass scheme also on some of the lower pass tunnels out there. But very, very futuristic. Also, the shades out there, the layout of the track. It's a tight track, but that roller coaster run makes it so very interesting, and the spline on the last one also is a fabulous addition. But this time Oni versus Shady, it's head to head. Oni sort of lost a little bit out there. No, he's coming back. Oni is coming back out there, and the sooner he comes back and tries to chase Shady, look at that, we must be able to see Shady somehow, because Oni is a quick recovery pilot. Oni is about 6 gates away. That's a little bit of a distance. Meanwhile, let's tune into Dabata. Dabata has crossed the mountain out there, and now he's going through the tunnel once again into the big roller coaster out there. Dabata, look at that. Now into the low pass tunnel, into the last spline area out there with Dabata. And coming in now is Oni. Let's see where Oni has come back. And well, it's Oni with Dabata chasing pilot Shady, who is the captain of Team HHR. Very, very high-paced action out here. Difficult to kind of follow somehow, but we are trying to cover as much as possible in our best spirit out here. And this is Oni. So Oni doing that roller coaster, coming into the last spline. And we will see him completing just behind Shady. It's again 7 seconds of difference. So he hasn't really closed in that difference of 5 or 7 to 10 seconds that's happening between him and Shady. So that is a little bit disappointing. IMDC will also be a little bit disappointed with his run this time around. Something really didn't go right for him. Astronaut is taking things a little bit lightly at the moment in spot number 6. Let's count it up for our pilots at round number 6. We will be at round number 6 with Shady taking 1 point out there as usual against Oni. Bungos taking his point, doing his dues for his captain against Captain Dabata of KKR. And Astronaut versus IMDC. Looks like IMDC has really had a clean 6 points so far. So all 6 points for Shady, all 6 points for Bungos, and all 6 points for DC. That lands up in a total of 12 versus 6. So there is a difference of 6 points right now. For the next 4 rounds, keep in mind, for the next 4 rounds, KKR will have to really fight it big time out here. They have to make sure that 2 of their pilots at least get in out there. Dabata will play a big role against Bungos over here, I believe, and also DC will be getting in that crucial point. So if these 2 pilots keep coming in for the next 2 rounds, we should be in for a thriller at round number 10. But let's see how that goes. For now, we will be starting round number 7 in less than 5 pilots. Let's get going on the podium. IMDC, beautiful pilot to watch. Again, there is a recharge gate right to that start gate over here. The race starts at this count as we count down the pilots, a rainbow of flying pilots out there coming into the first tunnel gate, out there coming into the circular gate now. Look at that motion and the colors and the highlights, the whole thing, very, very dramatic out there. The pilots are getting really close. Look at the competition between Oni and Shady has dropped in at spot number 6. I know he was complaining about some kind of a lag that was happening at 321 milliseconds of a difference. He had complained, but it looks like it was something related to his own computer. Look at that. The fortunes have turned out here in favor of Krakens, and Krakens looks like they might be in for a full complete squabble out here. Oni, Dabata and IMDC, all of them are going to crash the other team out here from HHR. Otherwise, well, looks like Shady. Well, Shady is getting closer to Dabata now. Shady as the captain. Dabata has some pressure on his back end right now. Look at that. Dabata is just heading up in his front row at the moment, and Shady has come back. But Dabata making quick ground out here. It's very, very difficult to see. Look at that, the spirited competition between these two pilots, Shady versus Dabata, and Shady is sandwiched between Oni and Dabata. What a fine thing this is, and it's unusual to see Shady sandwiched between two pilots because that has never really happened. This is the first time probably he is sandwiched like this, trying to get the captain. Dabata is really backing up his wingman Oni at the moment, trying to keep Shady at bay, and Oni has won. Look at that, the strategy has paid off for team KKR. Shady is down, Oni takes the win, and as I had predicted, it was important that Oni or Dabata take the win. What a run this was. Oni picks up finally his first pointer against Shady, and that lag of a difference of 321 milliseconds has really backfired against Shady. He should be fixing his controls as soon as possible to avoid a further loss out here. IMDC picks up another point in front of Astronaut, and let's see what Dabata happened. Dabata also picked up his 1 point against Bangos, so it was a clean victory, guys. It was a clean run victory for KKR. No points scored whatsoever for HHR. A whole round gone with HHR having 0 points, and it was 3-0 now for KKR on this round. So they have come back. The lead now decreases to just 3 points. What an exciting race this is happening right in front of us on a wonderful, wonderful track at 10:48 p.m. on 30th January. This is going to be an epic race, guys. This is going to be really in for a treat. You guys stay connected over here on your couches, on the edge of your seats. Let's start with round number 8 in the next 5 seconds. Pilots, get ready because this is going to be anybody's game now. Looks like Dabata on a fine run, Oni on a fine run. All of them have gone back into their finest shapes out here, and if Shady is going to be sandwiched again, he's going to try and avoid that. That's something that he really dislikes. So look at that, he's right off got into the front area of the other pilots. He is really furious with the round that happened last time around. He doesn't like something like that. But look at that, Dabata on his tail end out there, putting a lot of pressure on Shady. Look at that, Dabata really still chasing him on the roller coaster out there. Very fine pilot Dabata out there, and it's really a Dabata against Bangos right now. So at least Dabata is leading Bangos, and IMDC now obviously. So KKR is already 2 points running in front of the team HHR at the moment. IMDC also on a very fine run next to Dabata captain, and Bangos is following and slipping a little bit away. He should be really trying to get back into his game and his finest gear before it's too late, because these two crucial points again, looks like Oni this time is a little bit too far away. He's a whole lap away, I would say, virtually at least about a third of a lap away from Shady. So that becomes a little bit inconsequential between the top spot out there. But the next 2 spots, Dabata and IMDC, are doing excellent out here. Look at that. IMDC is one champion hell of a pilot. He has really come back as a new pilot. and he's made his captain really proud. But Bangos has taken advantage of that crash from IMDC, but it's not really very important at the moment. Dabata has defeated Bangos out there, picks up the point. Oni loses that point, but IMDC picks up the point. So it's 2 points against 1. That's nevertheless very well done by team KKR. Dabata picks up his points, IMDC picks up his points, and Shady picks up the remainder points. So look at that, the close difference of 13 points against 11 points. This is a heck of a competition. Already we are just in episode number 2, and it looks to me like some kind of a semi-final or a final that's already going on. So round number 9 and then round number 10, anybody's game, especially with round number 10 coming in at points 8, it can still shift in anybody's direction. So we have to wait till the very end. So pilots, let's get on the podium. Round number 9 on your very edge of the nerves, starting in less than 5. Bangos coming in now at the count of less than 5. He will be starting soon with the other pilots. Let's see how he does on the start gate out there. Bangos really tuning in with the other pilots out there. Again, what a fine run by Bangos it has been. Bangos and Shady, both of them have re-strategized, looks like, in the middle of the round that was just passed before this. And Oni, Dabata and IMDC, they'll be looking to come back. The game is not over for KKR, not by a slight margin at all, because Shady and Bangos, they are trying to keep up with IMDC. Look at that, IMDC is on the hot tail of Bangos, and IMDC has gone ahead of Bangos right now. And Oni will be trying to coming in as well. Important thing is for Dabata to come in really quickly and take a lead and hold off Bangos, because otherwise we will have 2 points going in for team HHR already. And Oni is coming up. Look at that, Oni was climbing up. Oni is climbing up right again, and we will tune into Oni right now. From nowhere, Oni has climbed up back in, and he is given a fighting chance for his captain Dabata. And meanwhile, IMDC and Bangos and Dabata and Bangos now. Dabata and Bangos are the crucial pilots out here who can make a lot of difference out there. And let's see, this is the last and final lap. Can Dabata come back and take his pouncer back on the Bangos out here? Lap number 3, gate number 25. Bangos is probably a little too far, but nevertheless, it's still going to be a well-fought competition between Dabata and Bangos. Bangos safely, finally coming back into the finish line. Oni FPV not really, he had really got his position hold on the second spot, but couldn't capitalize at the moment that required him to do it most. IMDC coming in. So the Krakens following up a little bit out there. 1 point right now goes to them. With the point captured by IMDC. The other 2 points are going to team HHR right now. So still, I mean, this is still about 3 points a game. This is a 3-point game right now as we head into round number 10. Pilots, this is a 3-point game. The score right now, as you take a look at the bottom of that table, look at that. HHR 15 points against KKR 12 points. Even if KKR gets that top spot, they could probably make it. But let's see what happens. So top spot gets 5 points and second spot gets 3 points. Total 8 points for anybody to capture out here. So pilots, for the last round, all the best out here. And we will be starting the count in less than 5. Shady right now. He is the pilot to watch because he has consistently done well out here. The last round coming up for Shady at the moment. Let's see if he's able to dominate, but he's slightly away from the podium this time. Dabata is in full shape out there against Shady. If Dabata can maintain that second spot, that should be good enough for him as well. Shady looks a little bit on the edger side out there, but Dabata is committed to get that 5 points. Look at that. If we can just go through the FPV view of Dabata, which is the most important at this moment, you can see Shady is coming in, and we have Shady at spot number 1. And look at that, we have some new graphic for you as well that just came in. Rishabh Chakrabarti now following us. and that's some exciting graphics also for you. And then right now it's a Dabata and Shady. Dabata is very, very determined to follow the tail of Shady. He's not going to leave it back for Shady to capture it all, as the turns of these two captains come in. It's captain against captain right now. The captain of a team HHR versus the captain of the Krakens. This is such an exciting game. Two gates of difference between them. It's anybody's game right now. And keep in mind, it's not anywhere Dabata or Bangos now. It's only the top two spots. The number one spot gets 5 points. Number two spot gets three points. And let's see, this is the crucial one. Dabata has to chip in over here, but Shady, oh my God, a disaster at the very last end of this track, and Shady completes in very fine shape. Dabata did really give it his best shot, but that roller coaster of the mountain proved to be fatal for achieving his target 5 points. And IMDC completing fourth, Awning coming in at spot number 5, while the sixth spot coming in at Astronaut. So amazing run, pilots. A big congratulations to all of you. A very, very well-spirited game out here. All of you fought to the very end out here, and it's very, very amazing to see how the race really came about. So the final points out here, they make a lot of difference. Shady and Bangos pick up that points. 8 points go in favor of HHR, so that difference of 3 points now goes haywire. It's 23 points against 12 points, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that the team KKR gave it its best shot of the night, and HHR had to really struggle to get its points, but finally they made it through, and we are very excited. All of you, hope all the viewers out there who have been tuned into this game have really enjoyed it, and we have also enjoyed it very, very much. So for now, let's take a quick interview of the pilots. It shouldn't take more than 2 minutes right now. So pilots, can we just have let's say have pilot Dabata come in from KKR, and we can take a quick interview from Dabata. We'll hold the audio so that it becomes available to our viewers. Dabata, if you can please join us in the prize distribution, not the prize distribution, but the commentary box. So hi Dabata, how are you?
Hey, Karan. Little jaded, but like fine.
Okay, I hope the voice of Dabata is able to reach all the audience out here. Do give us a feedback on that live stream chat out there. So, Dabata, very, very well fought. First of all, congratulations to your team. You have shown some very mighty spirit out there, and it's very commendable. And what do you have to say about the team's performance today?
I'm really happy with the team's performance. Like, I'm especially happy with our decision with DC, and we really hope to capitalize on that later and, completely take advantage of DC forward. Our team has always been with new pilots and everything, and there'll be no difference this time.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you are known for bringing in some really talented pilots, and I would like to hear more about IMDC. And he's come out of nowhere and really surprised everyone out here. Tell us a bit about IMDC. How did he join, and I mean, what's his background and things like that?
Well, IMDC, surprisingly, IMDC was the only person who applied for KKR as his preference.
Okay.
And we like there was a session we took, and Oni was also taking the session, and we were really surprised by, extremely proud of him, and we really think he has a lot of places to go, and he can do very well in the future, and he'll be our dark horse basically, and it's a pilot to look out for. Like, it's definitely a pilot to look out for.
Yeah, definitely, and we would love to see him in the real world races. But tell me about that final run of yours. You look to be in a very fine chase with Shady, but just couldn't get through at the very, I think it was the gate after the mountain that you had to cross over. What exactly happened out there?
So from the start of the server, actually, me and Oni have been facing our own issues. Oni has lost batteries on his TX, so it's continuously vibrating. Meanwhile, I'm playing on mobile because my fiber is out.
Oh,
So doing
wow.
that one dive turn is causing a lot of lag on my end, and Oni just like, I mean, poor Edward, he's just like, it's a vibrating TX for him, so it's continuously screaming low battery at him. So like we both were trying to fight against our own things. So yeah, that's what happened. Like the lines we practiced on
Yeah.
were not exactly perfect online, and hence the lines were getting really messed up. So that was an issue. I really thought like the Shady is just within reach on the last end,
Yeah.
but like Shady is Shady, right? You can't mess up around him.
No, I mean,
So that's what happened.
definitely a great pilot, but playing over the mobile connection is quite a different thing. I've heard it for the first time, but given that kind of a lag and the other things that you mentioned with Oni's, TX, and all those things, I mean, you guys deserve a special kind of a cheer out here from all the audiences out there who have been watching, all the pilots. Well done, guys, and well done, Dabata. Hope to see you in the next race coming up on the group stage.
Yeah, we will come up with stronger and better performance. We've always been that team which rises strong in nowhere, and we hope to continue doing that with new people.
All right, so that was the part. So just to give you a quick idea over here for the audiences who did not know what Dabata was saying about IMDC when he joined the Krakens, there was something called as pilot trading, where we had new pilots coming in and assigned to teams, and IMDC applied to KKR and got in, and he has proved himself in his very first race. So congratulations, IMDC, for a very, very fine run, and we hope to see you do well and more, much better now in the next races. So let's get the captain of HHR, Shady. Let's get you in the commentary box. Hey, Shady, how's it going?
Yes, I'm here.
How's it going, Shady? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay.
Nice race.
So first of all, let me just, since I did not ask this to Dabata, how did you feel about the overall track? It was kind of a tight track, but I think it was a fast-paced track as well. How did it suit your kind of skills?
Yeah, it was like all the way full throttle track, very fast, and it had like two very tight turns, I would say, like two or three places where you had to like really be precise, otherwise you're definitely gonna crash and like break your prop.
Awesome. And what?
Otherwise, it was a very flowy track. Like I could just full throttle and like have fun actually.
Right. And what do you think? Like, were you when the point difference was kind of 13 and 11? I think you had some lag going there as well, 321
Oh yeah,
milliseconds.
it
What
was
was that
throughout the
about
race,
exactly?
from first round to the 10th. Like I couldn't take off first because like the 5 4 3 2 1 timer, like it used to get stuck on 1 second. So every time I took off, I saw everyone take off before me.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. And the top pilot that you have been, the fine run that you have performed. This should be really another encouraging race for you moving forward. Any particular strategy for the next race, or are you kind of going to follow the same pattern?
All of the same thing. And one funny thing that happened that like I didn't even take off. I was just like waiting, and I just see Oni go full throttle into the first gate, 100% prop damage, and then I take off. I
Wow.
just laughed.
So fine experiences out there. Everybody had
Yeah.
a wonderful experience today. A very fine track, very fun to do as well. We enjoyed it, or the audience enjoyed it as well. And right now, that's all we have from the commentary box with the captains. Let's see if we can answer a few questions that have been coming in on the live chat. So the pilots who are done with the races, they can disconnect from their stream if you want. And let's see if I can go ahead and answer some of the questions on that live chat. So let's see where the live chat is right now. And okay, there you go. So if we can kind of scroll through this, and we'll take it from the bottom up. Eagle Eye FPV is going to ask, um, right. So if you have any questions, do let me know right now. I am available to answer them. If you have any questions about the race format or the whole schedule or anything, or even the real world races. So let's talk about the real world races right now, as Eagle Eye FPV asked. So obviously all of you know that the COVID situation has been a little plunging for all of us. We have had to restrict ourselves on the real world races. That's why the whole stay at home format came about. But now that the vaccines are available for COVID and people are getting back into their usual, we will be uh, doing the races. We have a couple of races planned so far. They are not completely confirmed, but it's about in the 95% range right now. And I'm not going to disclose which these races are, where they're going to happen. But I can only say that there are two races that are coming up in the next 4 to 5 months. So we will be getting back into the real world racing mode. Obviously, you must have also seen championships and organizations elsewhere also, like multi GP getting back into the real world format. I know this has been a really long kind of a run for simulation. So people want to really go out there and fly. But also we have also the community has started conducting a lot of real world practices and sessions and meetups and things like that. So if you're on Instagram or if you're following a lot of other communities, and if you're like into those kinds of things, do go ahead and join some of their sessions. It will be really good. The other thing, let's see some of the other questions if out there are. Kartikeya Nanda, can Shady please elaborate on his run for his race? Okay, looks like we have had to ask Shady, and okay, so that's I think pretty much it. So we streamed mostly on YouTube today, and this was because we were still trying to tune in our graphics, because our graphics are a little bit on the heavier side. So the computing resources that are allotted, the whole resolution of the graphics and things like that, even the game had to be played in a windowed mode, sort of, to make things less bulkier on the system. But we will be battle testing this over the next week. And also, Theatrix could not join us, our ace commentator who has joined us this season. So she'll be coming up the next race once we get some of the audio video issues for the remote commentator fixed. But I think that's what we have for now, unless you guys have any more other questions. You can, of course, post them on IDRL. You can please go ahead and download the IDRL app. Please join the community and give your best support out there. Ask any questions. One other question coming in right now from Eagle Eye FPV is when will Rathi be back? Okay, so I think Rathi will need to be convinced by some of you out there who know him in person. I think the answer that he gave me was that he's a little bit on tight schedule right now, so we'll respect his schedule. But whenever he gets free, we will be definitely asking him to, and we'll be happy to see him as kind of a welcome commentator, as a guest commentator. So that was with Rathi, but right now, as I said, he is a bit busy. So any other questions, Eagle Eye, or any other pilots out there? If you have any questions about joining SAH, you can. Well, it's a little too late to enroll, but watch out for the next season. We are keeping the schedule of SAH Season 3 really tight this time. A lot less races, and then we'll be immediately starting with season number 4. So the virtual and the real world races will be going parallelly. Also, there will be separate points allotted for both real world and the real world and the virtual races. So there'll be two separate leaderboards, as opposed to what you see on the IDRL website or the app right now. They are all combined into one point system, but that will be soon separated out. And also, we will be Twitch is a new stream thing. But go ahead and follow twitch.tv/IDRL, because that's kind of a mainstream platform for streaming games and other kinds of things. So next race will be also broadcasted along with Facebook and on Sportrex as well, which is our international media partner. That's another different kind of a universe. So let's close ahead now the stream. I think before it gets a little bit too contentious on the stream out here between Virani and Crude, let's close ahead and wish all of you a very, very good night. Hope all of you have really enjoyed being with us together today. We had a very fine run, and also join us next time, the next Saturday. If you want to check out the schedule, do join our Discord channel. Discord is where all the happenings about SAH series happen. So if you want the Discord channel link, do post it on the IDRL app as a question, and we'll surely respond back. But most of the folks are in the group already. So that will be a point of contact. So anyway, so it was good to see all of you today, and we'll be seeing you next time. So for now, from our studios in Mumbai and elsewhere, we'll be giving you a very good night, a very good night Saturday night, and also a very happy weekend starting tomorrow, Sunday, and let's see what happens on the next Saturday. So meanwhile, bye bye and good night. See you next time around.